Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Over the last couple of years of building numerous containers, numerous applications, I always go to my default Docker manager, and that has been Portainer. But over the last couple of weeks, I have been playing around with a number of different Docker managers because I just want to see what other tools is out there. I have found one and I have seen some videos on YouTube about it, and it looks really good. This is a Docker manager tool called Arcane. It says modern Docker manager designed for everyone. It's really easy to install via this simple Docker compose file. If you come down here, you can see all of the different features. There is a modern UI, real-time monitoring, container management, image management, network configuration. There's so many different features as part of this app that I'm genuinely really excited to give it a go. I've already built Arcane. It is currently installed on my Docker server, and as you can see here, it is managing a whole bunch of my containers. But in today's video, what I want to do is I want to go across the install. We're going to start here. I'm going to show you how you can get Arcane installed. Then I'm going to come back over here and we're going to go through the platform. We're going to look at each of the different parts of it and just check it out and see how good it is. So let's first of all look at the installation. As I said, it is a simple Docker compose file. The instructions here are pretty easy to follow. There is a number of different steps that we can follow. I'm just going to build this on my existing Docker server. If I come over here, as you can see, I have got a Ubuntu server that's currently running Docker. I'm just going to SSH into that and I'm going to create that compose file, and then we're just going to basically run that, and that's going to create the Arcane container. If you want to follow along with this, you can follow everything I'm doing. The only thing you need to have ready is you need to have a Linux server built with Docker running on it. Right, let's get that installed. So I'm going to use VS Code. We're going to SSH to that server, and then we're going to create the Docker compose file. So let's do that. So open up the Remote Explorer extension. I'm just going to connect over to this server. It should ask me for my password, put that in. Let's open this. We're going to open up a folder. Let's just do the top level. So you can see this is the Jared folder. Now in here, I have got some other folders and stuff running. As you can see, I already have this Arcane folder. I'm going to create a brand new one and we're going to build that as just a test. So let's create a new folder. Arcane test. In here, I'm going to create a new Docker compose file. Compose. Now YAML. All we have to do now is go back over to this page, the installation page. You're going to copy that entire thing. You're going to come back over here. You're going to paste that in. Now there is a few things that we do need to change. Because I already have Arcane running, I need to rename some of these things. So we're going to call this Arcane test. For the port, we're going to put a 9. We're going to change this. Arcane data, we're going to do that. Change the name of this. What else? I'm going to change that port to 59 as well. We will come back to this bit in a second. Okay, that is it. Now, as you can see, as part of the Docker Compose, we're missing these things. If we go back over to the documentation, it actually tells us what to do. Down here, you can actually get the encryption keys by running this. So I'm just going to copy this. If you open up a terminal window, you will get something like this. Let's just paste that in and it should create those encryption keys for us. So here is the 2 sets of encryption keys that we need. So let's copy that top one. Copy that. We're going to go over to back to our Docker compose file. Let's put that in there. Let's go back over here and then we can copy this. Let's just put that in there. Now all we have to do is save. Okay, let's give this a go. So down in the terminal side, we're going to go and check where we are. So we need to go into the Arcane test folder. And all we have to do is Docker compose up -d, hit enter. Actually, that's not going to work. We need to go back. We need to put sudo in front of that. Do that again. Put in your password, and that should technically go and actually create that container for you. And it's done already. That was so quick. That is all you have to do to get Arcane up and going. As I said earlier, I already have a version of this up and running where all of my containers are actually in there. So this is what it looks like when you log in. You have this dashboard, and here it tells you a good overview of actually what's going on in your environment. You can see here I have got 5 image updates, there are 10 containers running, 14 images, there's 9 volumes. This is my local Docker environment. The good thing about this, and something that I really like, is it actually gives me an overview of the stats. I have a habit of just building loads and loads of containers, or playing around with things, and then next of all everything just comes to a halt because I've overbuilt on that particular server. So this helps me keep that in check by telling me always like what's available. Another really nice thing about this is that I can hover over this little eye, and if I click on that, that just gives me so much more information about the server. You can see the actual server name, Ubuntu, so it's running 24.4. It just gives me everything that I need to see here in this one page. From here I can also go and click on some of these other options. So this is just the current screen that you can see. This one here, if I click on that, is view details. This brings me into the environment. It shows me everything that I need to know around the storage, the Docker settings, security. We'll come back to this bit in 1 second. If we go back to dashboard, you can see here the next one is this prune system. If I click on that, that's going to go through and run through the prune process on this server. So that's a good way just to keep your server in check if you want to remove any old containers or any old images and stuff that you don't really use anymore. So let's move on down to projects. Under projects, this is a really good place to see all of your applications and containers that you've been building. From here, you can see this is a good overview. It gives you the name, the working directory, the provider, like what host. If I have multiple different hosts, that tells me exactly where it's actually stored. You can see the status. If I hover over the updates, you can actually see if there is an update for that container image, if you need to update it to the newest version. This tells me when it was actually created, the number of services. And if I click into this, for example, it actually brings me this. This is the compose.yaml that is used to build that application, and then just the environment file. You have other things in here. You can obviously restart it. You can redeploy that. You can pull a different image. You can refresh it. You can then just destroy it as well. Over here, you have this workspace option. So if you toggle that, it kind of makes it look and feel like VS Code does. So you can see and you can actually make changes there. There is other stuff in here as well. There is some of the project logs and stuff. So overall, the projects area is a really good place to go and just to get a really good high level overview of your entire environment. So if we move down here to the environments part, this is where you can see your local Docker server. So this is the one that's currently connected. If I do want to add any other environments, I just have to click on add environment up here at the top, and it brings up this side panel. Now there's 2 ways you can add a new server. First of all, this is all done by agents. So you would install an agent on the other Docker server you want to add. If your Arcane container can actually talk to that local Docker server, then you can do this direct. Now the thing you'll have to open, you have to make sure there is an open port on that server so Arcane can actually connect to it. The other way around is if you have a Docker server that's behind a firewall, then you can configure this. This is the edge method to connect another environment, so that actually connects back to the Arcane server. So 2 good options are to get new servers added. If I come back over to this screen and I click on the actual local Docker server, you can see here it gives me some information. I can see that there is an actual update for this that is there. Come down here and I can see all of the directories and storage paths that have been set for this. This is all of the sync limits. And then if I click over here to the Docker settings page, you can see all of this stuff. If I move down, this is all of the Docker prune options that you can preset. Under security, you can see this is all the vulnerability scanning on this particular server, which is really good that it has it here. If you have any automations or anything that you want to set up on this server, like automated updates, image watcher, this is where it should check for containers and images that are running out of the images. Down here, you've got some stuff around maintenance, event cleanup. There's lots of different stuff that you can do in here. And finally, over here under Git syncs, this is where you can manage Git repositories and you can set up automated syncs. Now, one of the things I really like about this tool is the different customization and things that you can do. This is the stuff that actually just makes your life so much easier. Under templates here, you can manage all of your Docker Compose files. So I just click on create template and I can start to put all of those details in here. If I go back here, you can see there is a default. I can change that so it actually builds. This is actually currently building Nginx, but These templates are just great. They're going to save so much time. If I come down here to container registries, this is where you can add all of your container registries. All I have to do is click on add registry and then put all of this information here. And that way I can go and pull images from that particular registry. If you were using this and you had your own private registry, that would be really helpful. Come down here to variables. Throughout the system, if you're building lots and lots of different containers in each of the Docker Compose files, you're going to be creating the same information over and over again. Creating a variable and then referencing that in your Docker Compose file, it just saves a whole bunch of time. So moving on down to the next section under resources, this is where you can see all of the different containers. Now this is a really good way to see all of the containers that have been deployed across all your workloads. You can see here, this is given the name, the image that it's using, the what state is it in, it's running. Over here, if you hover over some of these, you can see whether these are up to date or not. You can see the CPU usage that it's actually using. It gives you the memory, the status, it gives the IP address, the ports that are actually being used for that container. And then it actually just tells you in the corner here when it was created. From the very top here, you can create a new container, click on that and just put all of the details in there for that new container. You can update the containers as well. You just need to select the containers and then just click on update. And the good thing about this is if you have like 10 containers that need to be updated, you can just select them all and hit update. That's going to go down and do them all. You don't need to do them all one by one. If I click into one of the containers, for example, Vault Warden here, you can see this actually gives me all of the details about that, how long it's been running, the images used, the ports that are published, the volumes, the networks. If I move across some of these at the top, you can see this is the metrics. This is the health check here. It tells you whether the container is in a healthy state or not. Recent health probes, it gives you that at the bottom. Over here, you've got configuration. So this is the config that's used for this container. Over here, you've got the networks. This gives the IP address of the container, the gateway, the ports that are actually being used. Up here again, you can see 8001 is being publicly accessible, and that's basically exposed to the container at port 80. Then you have got the storage. This shows all of the storage and mount points and stuff, and then inspect here, which is a whole bunch of information. From this window here, you have obviously these options at the top. You can stop, restart, redeploy, you can kill it, you can do lots of stuff here. If we move on down to the next one, this is the images. So this is all the images that are used to build all of those containers. You can see here there is 18 images in total. Now, right off the bat, the things that I like is it tells me whether it's in use, where it's actually being used, the updates, if there is any updates or anything available for that, like what state it's in. You can see these ones have got updates available. There is vulnerability scan, so it actually tells me if there is issues and vulnerabilities with that container image. Then you've got some other stuff for the size and when it was created. If I click into one of the images in here, you can see a bit more information about the actual image, the image details. You can actually scan it again. If I move down to the vulnerabilities, this is all the vulnerabilities that has been found. So I've actually hit on scan all images. That scanned everything and that's brought back a lot of vulnerabilities. I think this is saying total is 4,320, which is a lot, considering I only have a small number of containers there. But you can see this is all of the critical. You can sort them by severity. Lots of good stuff. And I love that this thing is just completely built in. You don't have to run another platform that's going to do vulnerability scanning as well. Moving on down, we have the updates. This is the updates that are available for any of the containers. You can easily just update them by clicking on that, hit on update, and that's just going to basically pull down the latest version. Very easy. Under networks here, this is all of the name of the containers, the status, the network they're actually using. You can see here the scope, the driver. This is just using all of the bridge networks. If I move down to ports, this bit's pretty cool. This actually shows me all of the ports that are actually being used. I constantly do this. I just play around with number of containers and I build things and then I can't access because it's using the same port as another container. So having this here in just one simple place that I can actually see, this is a really cool simple feature for me. If you move on further down, you can see under typology, this is where you have this huge big network diagram. This is where you can start to draw out all of your networks and stuff. So this is pretty cool that it does this by default. Keep going down, you've got volumes. This is all of the volumes that's being used on the server. If your server is running out of space, this would generally be your first place to come and have a look. For example, here is 2 volumes that aren't in use. I could just delete them and that will start to pull back some space. From here, I can also go in and actually create volumes. If I want to create volumes and then use them in any of my containers, I can do that within here. Let's go back out here, and then the next one, which is Docker Swarm. Like, this is built into this tool. I don't even have another Docker server running at the moment, but if I did, I could actually get this up and going from here and manage the Docker Swarm from this side, which is really amazing. Further down, there's a few more options here. You've got the event log. So this is just everything that's been going on this particular server. And then you've got the settings. In settings, you have a number of different things that you can change. This is the activity. This is all of the stuff that's actually been going on. There's users. You've got various different roles. This is the API keys, the authentication, if you want to authenticate using a different server. There's so much stuff that you can actually do in here. So that's it. That is a quick overview of the Arcane platform. I highly encourage you to download and take a look at it. It is free. It is available on the Arcane website. As I said, and I showed you, it is pretty easy to get this up and going. I genuinely think this is probably going to replace Portainer for me. Now, there's a few things that I really want to do. I want to test this. I want to test building containers on different IP addresses. But yeah, all in all, really, really good tool. Just check it out. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if there's another Docker manager that you use and maybe it's better than this one. If there's another tool that I should definitely test, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.